We're both wearing sweatshirts. So.
Yeah, it's freaking cold out, man.
Yeah.
At least not by New York standards, but
74 degrees.
Yeah, I know. That's cold for California. I'm Vinny Corbo, publisher of Veloso Publishing, and I'm here with Veloso author David Christopher, who has just released his first book with us called Portrait, 40 Years in Porn. Welcome.
Thank you, Vinny. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Okay. So I think the first thing is, we both clearly have longer hair than we normally have. And that is both due to stay-at-home orders for COVID.
I would say I have the longest hair I've ever had now in my life.
On the cover of the book, we have a picture of you from your youth, and your hair is quite long.
Yeah, we certainly do. Got many comments about it. Wow.
So what I wanted to start with is COVID and how you're basically coping and what your general thoughts are on it. Because the other thing is David is a pop culture enthusiast and very into politics and a lot of other things. So
history enthusiastic.
Yes. So we're living history right now. So why don't you I'll shut up and you go ahead.
Well, since you mentioned the history part, I used to be a history teacher and I'm still very involved with all kind of history. And
Where did you teach history?
Long Island. This particular COVID flu is pretty much following the exact route of the 1918 Spanish flu, as they called it, which came in a couple waves. And the second wave is the one that we're in right now, which is the winter wave. So throughout this whole thing, I've been telling everyone I knew what is basically going to happen, because I just follow history, and history repeats itself like basically all the time. And on this particular flu, it's repeating itself exactly the same exact thing with the mask. Back in 1918, 1919, they were giving fines for people who didn't wear masks. There was a whole movement of people who didn't mask. The president didn't even mention anything about it, Woodrow Wilson. And eventually World War I was ending at the same time. All the troops ended up getting it at the end. They spread it all over the place. That was just the only little difference was the war, but everything else basically is the same. In the summers, it got a little better. And then when back at the winter, the second time when it came around, it wiped out 400,000, 500,000 people then, the second time. Just like it's striking now, a huge thing.
Where are you getting your news from?
I get my news from MSNBC, CNN, basically Twitter.
Okay.
Those are mostly, I believe in the news. The news is the news. It's real. It's not the fake, stupid stuff that Fox is on. But I put Fox on every once in a while.
Yeah, you have to.
I cringe. Okay. And then, especially over the last 6 months, you figure that when Roger Ailes left, that Fox would turn more moderate to the middle, because Roger Ailes was the big key to push for Trump. And push
okay, so then that leads me to an interesting question. So in your business, your time in that business was started in what, the 70s or late 60s?
70s.
Early 70s?
I'd say 75.
75. Okay, so mid 70s, and you lasted up until what, the past 2000?
A couple of years ago.
Oh, so a couple of years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So so your industry, Roger Ailes, was there any Roger Ailes in your industry, or was there any type of that behavior in your industry? Because
if it was all private. I didn't know.
You didn't see it.
What are you kidding? I would smash someone if I heard that.
Sure.
One time, someone complained to me about after a scene that they were in the shower and the guy started touching without asking or something. I never hired the guy again, Yeah. There's nothing else I could do with it. This is 1995 or something, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, but I think it's interesting, because you would think, well, you don't know what to think. That's why I'm asking,
The thing is funny to me. I went to this guy. I went to this quote actor. It's now dead. And I said, I got a complaint that you were touching someone. Why would you even think of that? I go, you just did a scene for 2 hours that we all watched in every different position that's possible. I can't think of any other positions you didn't do. What may think of you to go even do that?
What do you think? What do you think the answer is to that?
He's mentally ill. Obviously, there's something wrong.
I think it's a power thing. I think it's a power trip. I think that
Could be. You could be right. When he was the one that was being told what to do or doing any kind of submissive act, he would be tremendous. He even was thanking God that I gave him a foot scene one time.
but then he proceeded to ruin something that he liked with bad behavior.
Oh, not in this particular scene. He was tremendous that day.
But how was he?
He was tremendous.
Okay. So, but since he was good, you liked him, you would have hired him again, or you were actually hiring him for a while, and then
I never hired him for a regular scene ever again.
okay. In your years in your career, were you more on the acting side or on the production side?
Split.
Split?
Yeah, because I started as when I was getting my master's degree, I started as a PA, doing commercials and
What's your master's degree in?
history
In history.
and education. Excuse me,
Okay.
it's MA education because teaching, but history was my thing.
Why did you decide then to leave teaching? I used to, I used to be a teacher, and I made a conscious decision to step away from it for.
Truthfully, okay, you can tell me yours. I'll tell you mine.
No, there's nothing to tell. I like being a teacher. I didn't like being a cop, and they were forcing me to be a police officer at the same time.
You're like a little like me, same kind of thinking. But I'll tell you in a different way. Basically, my idea was that, especially then, very idealistic. I was really trying to help the kids, communicate to them, have them like what I was telling them, enjoy it, or try to learn, communicate with them, as instead of just them hanging out there reading their own books, doing whatever they're doing, not paying attention. And then I'd go up to the teachers' lounges. I'm very idealistic. I just got out of my master's and the whole bit's my first teaching performance. I go to the teachers' lounges and none of the teachers cared about the kids. All they cared about was their tenure. So I'm going, every single one of them, maybe like 2 cared, So as the years going on, I'm going, this fucking sucks. These teachers this educational system needs a revamping. These teachers don't care about the kids, and that in fact, the kids don't care about learning. So I left. Agreed. And, oh, sorry. My dogs are barking.
He wants to be on the show. Is he going to pull him up?
It's my roommate. My roommate has 2 dogs.
Okay. But you do like dogs very much, don't you?
I'm a dog. I like them so much. I'm a fanatic. I moved to a house where I am because the best dog park in the valley is like 2 blocks up the street, and I had 3 big dogs at the time.
Okay.
So that's why I moved to where I am right now, just so I could go to the dog park with them every day.
And your book starts with dog park.
Yeah, when my nephew Matthew, by the way, do you know Matthew is a singer too, a guitar player?
Yeah, did you see his video that he sent out?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's so good.
It was so fucking great.
Isn't it?
First of all, I didn't know he played guitar and sang. My sister was a genius, okay? His mother, she was really, really brilliant, tremendous, one of the tremendous people of all time, and a great singer and a guitar player. And I had no idea that he picked it up. He never told me. He never showed me. He never played for me. Nothing. He sends me that little video, and I'm going, wait a minute. Yeah. Is that him?
And what's great, we should tell everybody who Matthew is. So Matthew is David's nephew. He's your sister's son.
Yes.
Okay. And I had the fortune of meeting Matthew before we even got really moving on the book. The book was basically written, but then when Matthew came to me with the book, he wanted to, punch it up even more, and right. We did. Matt, you're right. He is incredibly smart and very, very talented. His artwork, I just am in love with his artwork. I am dying. First off, it's square, so every time I see it, it just looks like an album cover. So I am dying to use something of his for one of my upcoming album covers. That is on my, thing that I'm going to do before I die. And he, just like you, was a real pleasure to work with. And I like,
Yeah, he's nice. He's a great person.
and he's meticulous.
Yes. Oh,
And as I am,
much more than I am.
yeah, we spent hours and hours and hours. And in the beginning, he was concerned, like, am I taking up too much of your time? And I was like, no, I'm into this. Let's make this perfect.
Right.
And he's great. So for for Christmas, I get a text video, and I guess you got it too, right? And he and his wife made this amazing video, and it's so you don't see it coming. Like, they're just panning around the house.
Expecting it at all.
Yeah, they're panning around the house. Yeah.
Every year for the last 10 years at New Year's, Christmas time, he and his wife, Amy, they do some kind of artistic thing. They used to send cards. They always, their dog, their cat, they have cats. Their cats are always in it.
Yeah, the cats are in it. Yeah.
So they always do something different every year. But he never had sang for me before. He never.
I think it's a lip sync, but I could be wrong. But I think it's a lip sync. But
that's what I'm thinking. Is it a lip sync?
But his playing, he is actually playing the parts. As a guitar player, I recognize he is playing those parts. And he told me that Amy edited that.
Okay, I believe it.
And I was impressed with the editing job. The thing.
She's a kindergarten. She's a kindergarten teacher.
Amazing people.
But she's very artistic. He met her in college. They go back like forever. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm hoping to meet her one day. But the thing about Matthew that I think is, with all these abilities that he has, he's incredibly humble. So, yes. And you and I live out here in Los Angeles, and if somebody can program their VCR, they're going to tell you about it. I mean, it's just, everybody speaks in resumes out here, and then you meet this, Jewish kid from New York, and and you walk into my place and it's surrounded with guitars, and he's not like, hey, I play the guitar.
Right.
Like, Matthew? I
didn't know he plays guitar. And the second time I go, maybe he's singing, a little bastard, and then I go, wow, could he be singing? Now,
and that's the only thing we should say. You're a music enthusiast.
Unbelievable music.
Yeah.
Well, but I like pop music. Mm-hmm. I like the female singers because I like female power singers, and the females have been getting a lot of power. They run the charts now. They used to never be on the charts. You used to, vaguely, you never saw them,
Have you, do you like Ariana Grande?
I love her. I have 10 to 15 females that I think are tremendous.
Okay. I went to see Ariana Grande with my wife, and I got to tell you, the girls screaming in the audience was louder than the music. I had to have my earplugs in because of that high-pitched screaming.
Really?
But it was an incredible show. She put on an amazing show.
People look at me. You know what they say, Vinny? You know what they say when I tell them what I like? They go, what are you, like a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah.
No, 15-year-old girl.
I'm enjoying when you get close to your screen because your face turns orange like Trump. So that's kind of funny.
Oh, no, I'm moving back then. Give me a break.
Again, a testament to Matthew, because I feel like he was able to capture the real you. He didn't edit or censor you down. I like the fact that you didn't make yourself the hero. You gave us the good, bad, and the ugly, and the honest. And both you guys are there's a humbleness. And I said I went and watched a couple of your movies to make sure that I'm not making a book by someone who's a misogynistic jerk.
I would have given you the best ones to see, man.
Okay, so hang on. I'm giving you this great intro, and you are screwing it up.
I always do that.
All this good stuff. I go, okay, so he's, his movies he's respectful of the girls in his movies. He's made quality stuff. He's not an asshole. Matthew is probably a genius, and you're a fun guy. Let's do this book. Okay, that's why I did it. Why did you do it? Why did you feel compelled to tell this story?
I felt compelled to tell this story for the last number of years. I wanted to show how the X-rated, I wanted to tell the story about myself. I thought it was very interesting. Maybe not number one. Number one, I wanted to still I'm always in this thing trying to promote the sexual power, let me just use that word, of women. Very difficult to write your own autobiography. And I had so much stuff to put in. What do I put in? What do I leave out? What do I put in? You know what I mean? And I just happened to be speaking to Matthew, and I told him the situation, and he came up with the idea of coming down, because he really hadn't been with me in a long time, So I thought, wow, that's a great idea too.
So you said he came down for about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And stayed in Los Angeles, or did he stay with you, or where? Okay,
no,
so
he got a, what do you call, one of those
a hotel or bed and breakfast or
Airbnb. Airbnb.
And he came over, and did he record? Every day.
3 hours a day.
He is meticulous, and I am too. And we worked so well together. It was fun to really, really, really fine tune your book and make sure.
He's not smoking pot with me. It's just me.
Well, right, and I'm not interested in that either. So my question then,
why? Wait, meticulous?
What?
There's a pot. It's like I can't be meticulous.
Right. So my question is then,
that's one of
these things that you're forgetting. Is it possible that the Abu Banya is making you a little mushad in your head? Is that what's going on here, or what?
Listen, the things that I remember, most things, I'm still pretty good. I can remember most things, whatever's happening, details, whatever. I can remember most of them. And once in a while, I won't,
Yeah, but you seem to have these very detailed facts about history and things like that.
You said things I'm really concentrated. I'm terrible with machines. I can't do any machines. But when it comes to things that I'm really interested in, I can really concentrate and be unbelievably meticulous. So I have it in me if I want. One section of me has it, but the other section of me belts it out most of the time and doesn't let me be as meticulous and as focused that I should be, and the marijuana doesn't have anything to do with the focusing. Sometimes it helps me a lot. Like I would say most of my best scripts that I wrote over the years were all written on great weed. And I would say all the great pictures I directed, I was on weed without a doubt throughout, not the whole time, but at least part of the movies without a doubt. Even the 5-day movies, every day.
But couldn't it be said that they would be even better if you weren't high?
Well, they were better because I was on them.
Why?
And I did mushrooms at some time in some of the movies too. If I did some of these huge 2-week movies, and that 2 weeks is a big movie in the porn business, incredible focus I had.
Right.
Seriously.
Okay.
So,
no, but you deserve to have that point of view stated.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't know because I've never done mushrooms, so I have no idea.
But see, when it comes to like certain people really work well with some of this stuff, and other people for other reasons, there's numerous reasons, don't work well with it. And you and Matt don't work well with it. I do, man.
Yeah. All right.
That's all.
How do you feel about drugs and sex mixed? Like,
I hate
do you have, no, I'm saying having, okay, so you like marijuana and occasionally mushrooms.
Yeah. No, I haven't done them in a while, but I did.
But what I'm saying is mixing that with a sexual encounter, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Let's say I did probably 1,200 scenes,
Okay.
and I smoked marijuana for 1,199 of them.
Okay.
1,199 of them.
Do you like the Worldwide Wrestling? Do you like any kind of
Love
wrestling?
wrestling.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, love
Who's your favorite? Okay, who's your favorite female wrestler?
Sasha Banks.
Oh, mine too.
What a surprise.
Well, she's amazing. She wouldn't have.
Right.
I mean,
that's why I'm making a joke. What a surprise. Yeah, she's great.
She's beautiful. She's talented.
Yes.
She's an incredible athlete.
Boss.
Yeah.
The boss, man.
And again, not conceited. She's very grateful to be there.
It's pretty funny that WWE women wrestlers. I watch wrestling nowadays mostly for women. Okay.
Yeah, I only watch the women. I don't watch.
I got
the men.
sick of the men wrestling.
Yeah, I don't watch men wrestling. It's the physical athletics, the ballet, the gymnastics, whatever you want to call it. Especially when Sasha Banks does stuff, it's just amazing and graceful. And
Well, Charlotte Flair is unbelievably
you
tremendous.
like her too? Yeah.
I just think she's a tremendous wrestler, performer. She has tremendous moves. She knows how to do everything. I love basketball. I told you, I love that. I watch the games all the time.
Can you play basketball?
Yeah, well, not anymore, but yeah, I used to play.
Did you play in school? You were good?
I was pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
I was kicked off the high school team because I wouldn't wear white socks. I only wore black socks. Seriously.
So I find out you got kicked off the high school team.
Yeah, but
you got blacklisted from the business.
No, yeah. I got kicked, but listen, it's because I was ahead of the time. You know, Michigan, the Fab Five, they started wearing the black socks 1990, and it became big. But before that, like in 1960, you know, you had to wear white socks to gym class and everything. And so the basketball team, I come out with black socks. That was pretty good. Come out with black socks. The coach goes, "What the fuck? What do you got those black socks for going out to a special like dinner or event or something? You can't wear them on the team. You can't wear them." I go, "Yes, I can." I go, "There's no rules against them." He goes, "I have a rule against it." I go, "I'm not going to wear these white socks. I'm wearing black socks. That's how I play." You're off the team. He goes. So what happens though? There's a humongous Jewish league, Sharon and the neighboring towns, and the Sharon team then picks me right up. So I became the star of the fucking league, the team
of the Jewish team.
I got the trophy, won the championship. So it turned out to me, as far as I was concerned, I enjoyed it.
Now, did you get to wear the black socks on the Jewish team?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a picture. I have a picture of me with the team.
I think you're gonna have to text me that picture. Were you someone who actually used cameras, or were you just directing? Did you actually have the cameras in your hands?
I started the camera one time, and then I said to myself, "Shit, I want to be a director. I don't want to be a cameraman. I wanted to be a teacher or a director or a combination of the two. I wanted to teach college when I got my age too, do lectures, you know. I wanted to have a couple books out, do lectures, promote women's sexuality, power, and all that kind of shit. That was my original intentions to do.
You could still do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you could have your own web channel.
Ends too.
But you could have your own online,
but
podcast.
I'm terrible with the computers and stuff. That's my problem. So when it came to cameras, showing cameras, I shot one day. I shot like 2 scenes, something. As the third cameraman, the second cameraman. I was directing, and I go, well, I know I should really shoot because that's where it's kind of going. You got to do everything. But I always just wanted to be a director. I never wanted to be a camera person. So I never really learned how to do camera. Shooting nonstop.
I have a question. Who are you talking to?
You.
I'm over here.
Oh, I'm looking at you here because you look much better. Over here, you're all clogged up. I got you in 2 screens.
Yeah, but this is where your camera is.
Okay, I know. I got a big screen. I forgot.
David, you're on camera 1.
I got a big screen. I'm drinking some wine. I drinking some Merlot. I had you on a big screen, like a 23-incher on the side here, and I got you in my little 15-incher that I'm looking at. I got confused for a second.
It's all good, man. All good.